and having come through that journey, it's really good to be able to use that as a motivation to support and help people going through their own journey.
That is such an important point, because invariably it's not going to be one or the other. It's going to be a bit of both.
Yes.
Get away from something,
Yep.
and then move into something.
Yes.
And in that transition, because sometimes it's you're moving out of survival mode.
Absolutely.
And then there's a point where survival mode has become your modus operandi, even when you're becoming successful, even
Yes.
the entrepreneur who's still actually only doing it out of fear,
Yes.
fear of destitution,
That's right.
who's being driven by fear of,
yes.
And so that survival mode becomes a way of life.
Yes.
And it's really interesting, because the skills that will get you from here to here are not necessarily the skills or the resources that will get you from here to here.
Maria, that is absolutely brilliant, because a lot of the work we do in the world of transformation and sort of business transformation, people, organizational transformation, transformational leadership, we did a whole big program, which is highfalutinly called executive reinvention. And there's a couple of key mantras to that, which apply in life as well as business. And what it says is, one of the key ones says, everything that brings you to a point prevents you from moving on from it.
Oh, I love that. Yes.
Everything that takes you to a point stops you moving up from it and away from it, because the survival mode that you just talked about has got somebody to somewhere. If they stay in survival mode, they will never step up into the winning mode. And so again, to try and give that a badge and something that people can understand when we're working through that, the statement is, you have to dare to lose to win. You have to be brave enough to lose to be able to win. And that comes from feel the fear and do it anyway. And it's all of that good stuff. And it's understanding that actually, as you transition, all of those core skills that have brought you somewhere, you now have to let go of, which is really uncomfortable.
I talk about that as getting into the place of surrender.
Yes.
But surrender does not mean disabling or paralyzing yourself.
Absolutely.
And so how I refer to that is, there comes a point, so we're driven, want to get away from the poverty or, whatever it was.
Yes.
And we're propelling ourselves. Sometimes we use anger as rocket fuel.
Yes.
Sometimes, we use all sorts of ways in that survival mode to try and get out of survival mode. But then for me, what I've learned, and it's something I look back on and wish I'd learned earlier, was that when I then want to move into that other space, I mustn't do it through any form of defiance, belligerence, hostility. If it comes from that place and I'm still carrying the same crap with me, and it will keep showing itself in all the conflicts that arise.
Yes. And eventually, especially if you're able to conduct any form of analysis, what you'll recognize is all of those behaviors that you just listed are actually pulling you back.
Yes.
They're holding on to your ankle. In the Caribbean at home, we call it a crab pot mentality.
Oh, right. I like
that. Because when you catch crabs, you go out and go fishing, and you get the beautiful crabs you're going to cook. You can put them in a pot, a big deep pot, and we don't put a lid on the pot because if any of the crabs start crawling up to try and escape, the others pull them back down again.
Right.
So the crab pot mentality is you will find something pulling you back all the time as you start to try and climb, survive. Those negative behaviors will pull at you and pull you back down, and they prevent you from moving on. So again, we talk about reduce the crab pot mentality. What propels you? What helps you? Who's giving you the lift up? What's giving you the lift up? What is it you can let go of? And what do you need to replace it with? Because the work, again, is to replace it with something that's really positive and helps you to unleash yourself.